and bass up the track a little bit, because I want to hear that booms, booms, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know the business. Common sense. So with the De La, we get all them players. We the rhyme sayers. Yeah, that's the business.
Hello everybody. Today we are on the 2013 BMW 650 GS. I figured I'd do something a little different and ride it where it was kind of developed to ride. I've never taken one of these off-road before, so bear with me. I did review one of these recently, but it was a 2015 1200 GS, and that thing was a beast, but a blast at the same time. It had a lot more features than this did. This one doesn't have traction control or any ride control, suspension control, but it does have ABS, and this one in particular has got some pretty knobby tires on it, so I figured we'd try something different. First things you notice right away, especially off-road, is the suspension is incredible. It's got so much travel and it's so soft and so compliant. It's a 652cc single cylinder. It's dual overhead cams. It's got about 50 horsepower, around 44 foot-pounds of torque, which is a ton, and is plenty for off-roading too. It's got enough torque to pull you through. The ABS can be shut off. It does intervene a little bit, but nothing too crazy. It doesn't ruin what you're trying to do. Yeah, the traction control would be kind of nice just to keep it a little more stable. It does pretty well so far. I just never know how deep anything is or what's on the bottom of it, but oh man, this thing's so much fun. I get it. I get why people use these things off-road. They're pretty fun. Love it. Love it. Getting a little more confident with it now. It's amazing how this thing absorbs bumps. Oh, these things are so much fun. Love it. Oh yeah! Oh fuck! Oh, these things are unreal to thrash on. Holy man. Well, we know what it's like off-road. I guess we should probably see what it's like on-road. I do love these things. Like, now that I've driven them off-road, you know, in my 1200 review, a lot of people said I felt kind of flat or unamused, but I think it's just because, you know, I wasn't doing anything exciting with what the bike's developed to do. You know, sport bikes are meant for curvy roads, and these things are kind of meant for everything, so why not try everything? But first thing you notice about this bike, on road and off too, is it's incredibly lightweight. It's only 430 pounds. And this little 50 horsepower motor's got a lot of zip to it. It's very smooth. There is no dull spot. The torque comes on pretty low in the RPM range. And it rides great. It's a very maneuverable bike. Good brakes, ABS standard. It's a fairly buzzy motor though. I will say that, up around anywhere between 3,800 and 4,500 RPMs. It's a buzzy motor. You can feel it, you can see it, and you can hear it too. But that's what a single cylinder does. They're a buzzy motor. But it's lively, and it's got a lot of zip to it, and at only 430 pounds, that's all you need. It's got a nice low seat height. I'm only 5'6", and I can touch flat-footed on it. To be honest, this would be an amazing starter bike. It's got plenty of power. It's very easy to ride. It's got a really good balance to it. It's got all the safety features. You know, ABS is one of those things that I think every bike should have, and nowadays almost all of them do, for a reason. They really do give you, the rider, a lot more confidence in their braking. This one does have heated grips. I did accidentally turn them on, and they work amazing. Nighttime rides in the fall can be pretty damn chilly. Not with that. And it does have a vest plug for a vest heater too. Stay nice and toasty for your entire ride. I really like these dual purpose bikes. They truly are a dual purpose, especially with these aggressive tires that are on it. They do have a little bit of vibration on the highway, but they're not noisy and it's not anything too crazy. These BMWs have really big bar ends, so they absorb a lot of vibration through there. Honestly, all the vibration you feel is in the seat and honestly in the tank. That's where you feel most vibration, is right up by your knees and then there. Gives a good, this windscreen does cut the wind pretty good. There isn't a lot of buffeting or anything like that. The gauge is relatively easy to read. Unfortunately, there is no gas gauge, which is one of my biggest gripes with any bike, especially these later model bikes or these long distance bikes too. But that is what it is. These things do make 74 miles to the gallon on average with regular fuel. So fuel isn't really that much of a concern. If you're riding that long and get that kind of mileage, you're bound to find gas stations pretty regularly. But I love it. It's got a great shifter on it. Clutch is really nice and lightweight, and it engages gradually through the entire lever. So there isn't just one sharp spot where it engages. It's kind of just smooth all the way through. The mirrors are great though. The vibrations or the buzziness really doesn't translate too much into the mirrors, and like I said, not too much into the handlebars. But the mirrors themselves are great visibility. They're really easy to adjust. And the bar height, the seat height, the riding position in general is incredibly comfortable. Not the best seat in the world. It's relatively firm in my opinion compared to the 1200 that I rode, but I'd imagine they made a lot of improvements for the later years in the 650 too. I know for a fact they improved the gauge cluster. They did add all the other features that the 1200 has, the traction control and everything else, which in my opinion it's a well-worthy feature. You do pay for it, but what don't you pay for nowadays? I enjoy riding this one better than the 1200. 1200's a big ass bike for a little ass dude. It's really tall and it's really heavy, and you feel that weight when you're going slow, and off-road there's no way I'd be able to handle that thing. One thing I have noticed, and it's it's kind of annoying, but it's more or less just because I'm not used to this bike, but the horn is in the position that most of these bikes have the control to shut off your blinkers. So once every 3 times, I end up pushing the horn, and it sounds like a clown horn, to be honest. It's kind of ridiculous and cheesy, but I go to shut my blinker off and I end up honking at everybody in front of me. So I've got a couple of looks shot at me, but maybe they just think I look badass on my cool BMW. So my bright orange BMW at that. All right, final thoughts on the 2013 BMW 650 GS. I love this thing. Now that I've taken it off-road, it's an absolute blast. It's really fun on the road too. It's lightweight, handles really, really well. The brakes are very good. Plenty of power for a little single cylinder. It's comfortable. It's super easy to ride. Great shifter. Great everything. My only gripe is it doesn't have a fuel gauge. Literally my only gripe. I love it. If you haven't done an enduro, try it out. It's a good time. Bye-bye.